Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Sort of Scotland 90 here. Or Sort of Scotland TV, and fucking hell, that's the problem with two channels, man. You're constantly fucking up with the intro. Anyway, TV, and we're doing a quick Scottish Cup preview here for the weekend. Celtic taking on Rangers in the Scottish Cup semi-final. And in the other Scottish Cup semi-final is Hibernian versus Aberdeen. In my opinion, this is the strongest three teams in Scotland. I know Hibs are a championship team, but I do strongly believe that they are better than maybe, I don't know. I would say they're above just St Johnstone actually. I would. So anyway, I think this is the best possible semi-final lineup you could have, and it's going to be interesting. Any of these four teams could go on and win the Scottish Cup. I kind of like the fact that Celtic drew Rangers because it means you're only going to have one Old Firm team in the final. Albeit an Old Firm final would have been good, but it's at least, you know, Aberdeen's maybe going to be in a cup final, or Hibs are going to have a chance to actually retain their title. So I like the way the draw panned out. Who do you think's going to win this one? Well, I'm not quite sure. If a couple of months ago I'd have said Celtic hands down, but since Pedro came in, the new Rangers manager, I think they're unbeaten. They seem to be playing better. They've tanked a couple of teams, and I don't know. I mean, they definitely seem to improve. Like, they beat Aberdeen 3-0. I'd never seen that coming. I know they weren't great. I don't think 3-0 was a fair reflection, but I just couldn't envision Rangers beating fucking anybody 3-0 a couple of weeks ago. Then they hammered someone else 6-0. Can't remember recently. So this Pedro guy, the new manager, I think that's his name, Pedro. He's definitely made a difference since he came in, and I think this is going to be a lot closer than any of the Old Firm games this season. Albeit Rangers did get a draw in the last one, and the one before that was only 2-1. So I mean, technically they have all been close. But more importantly, I think Celtic went off the boil recently. Since they've, like, I don't know, since they, was it when they guaranteed? I don't know if they guaranteed the league yet actually, but I think they've drew like 3 of their last 7 games. So, like, you know, I mean, they drew one game early on in the season, and they drew their second game like a while there, about was it 7 games ago they drew their second game. But since then I think they've drew like another 2. So, you know, the form recently, obviously they're still undefeated, they're still playing great, still by far the best team in Scotland. But yeah, they're not as dominant as they were earlier in the season. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really close tie. Obviously the lineups will be crucial. I think if Celtic's players perform to their best, then obviously Celtic will win, because they have Sinclair, Dembele, and I mean, those players are better than the Rangers players. That's a fact, you know what I mean? But you don't know. Dembele recently, he's not been that great. He wasn't that great against Rangers in the last game. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of things to consider here. And who knows how Rangers are going to play? I mean, Rangers could come out, could play well, could get the win. They could not perform on the day, and they could tank Celtic. Celtic could get tanked. So yeah, I mean, I think Celtic could come out and win this like 3-0, something like that. You wouldn't be surprised. Or Rangers could come out and grab like a 2-1 or 1-0 win, and I wouldn't really be surprised either. I'd be surprised if Rangers, you know, beat Celtic convincingly. I don't see that happening, but I definitely do think they could get a win if they come out and they play somewhat close to their best, and Celtic maybe have an off day. Like, it is the Old Firm. It doesn't matter how bad the teams are. Even when Rangers were, you know, in the championship and they came up against Celtic, they managed to beat them then. I mean, it doesn't matter the quality of players. It's always a huge derby, and anything can happen in these type of games. You know, they're derby games. It doesn't matter how. You know, it's always been that way in the Old Firm derby, and most derbies. You know what I mean? All the fierce rivals. It doesn't matter, even if one team's like superior to the other. Like the rival games always seem to be you know, pretty close. So I don't know. I'm gonna, my predictions. What is my predictions? I'm going to go 2-1 Rangers. I do think, I've got a feeling Rangers are going to sneak this. I think Celtic have had a great season, still undefeated. Didn't lose to Man City in the Champions League. I mean, in that regards, they've done well. I think they won the Betfred. Yeah, they did. They won the Betfred Cup rather easily. Beat Aberdeen in the final 3-0. I don't think they're going to complete the treble. That's another thing. I think obviously Celtic wanted to do the treble, but I think the desire for Rangers to stop Celtic from doing the treble is stronger than the desire for Celtic to actually, you know, achieve the treble, and I think that could play a factor as well. So I'm going to go Rangers 2-1, or it could be 1-0. I don't know, but I do think Rangers. I'm just going to pick Rangers to sneak it. I mean, Celtic could win, and I'm not going to be surprised. So anyway, guys, there you go. I mean, hopefully it goes to a penalty shootout. You know, both games penalty shootout, final penalty shootout, and we get some cool action. But I'm going to go with Rangers in the other Scottish Cup final, other Scottish Cup semi-final. Hibs are good, but I think Aberdeen's going to be too strong for them. But it's a one-off game. Anything can happen. It's, you know, I mean, fuck it. It could be a repeat final last year. It could be Rangers and Hibs again. But I'm going to go with Rangers and Aberdeen. I think it's been ages since we had a Rangers Aberdeen Cup final, so that would be good. I'd settle for the only final I don't really want is Celtic Aberdeen. I wouldn't really like that final. Just we've already had it this season, and it's, obviously I just think it'd be. I think Rangers Aberdeen would be good. Obviously fierce rivals, or Hibernian versus Celtic. It's been a while since they met, you know, in a cup match. So Neil Lennon returning to his former club, all that shit would be good, guys. So there you go, that's my review. Or it's not really a review, it's a prediction, isn't it? Reviews come after the match, Jamie, a fucking moron. So anyway, guys, there you go. Let me know down below what you think's going to happen in the match, and I'll maybe do a review on the game sometime after it. But until then, guys, been on Scotland TV. Peace.